Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to another live trading session. It's Tuesday, August 25, and we're going to see what market has to offer us, what we can trade, if there are any setups that we can take. We'll be going through the major caps like total, others, USDC dominance, USDT. Then we hop into Bitcoin, ETH, yeah, and slowly look into altcoins, stocks, and see if we can play anything. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I'll be giving 3-5 minutes until everyone can tune in because I don't want to repeat too many times um, the things we'll go through. Price, I was looking at Bitcoin here, already trying to reject on 1 hour. We have 4 rejections confirmed for the moment. I'm not yet a fan of shorting without a proper confirmation. Um, and we are already sitting above the previous week high. And furthermore, we are above this trend line, which acted like resistance, and now potentially support. So first I need a confirmation of a previous week high deviation and a trend line deviation too. Good morning, hello. Sorry, from the cold water. It is what it is. Right here we have an SMA 241, HMA, sorry, and we can see it's already trying to reject a little bit there. Well, I guess we can start. I did mention that I'll wait like 1-2 minutes. Speak in English, please, in the chat. Why most people are turning into investors? It's simple. Because they make enough money so they can retire. Yeah, that's the principle. Like when you make $100 million, I don't think you want to stress the effort of trading too much again. Okay, I think we can start. Are there any issues right now? Let me check if the sound is okay and we'll start. Okay, let me check if the sound is alright and we can start. I think everyone. Okay, let me check if the sound is alright and we can. There you go. Okay, everyone had the time to join by now, so we can actually get started. All right. So let's start first with Bitcoin and what happened. Where are we? Let's go on a monthly time frame. I'm going to draw everything from scratch. And we're going to take a look on what is happening here. Okay. As always, I'm enjoying looking at the fair value gaps. Here, for example, we have a potential inverse fair value gap, which is not confirmed yet. That will be confirmed only in October after the September monthly close, because for a fair value gap, you need 3 candles. You need a literal candle which creates the displacement, and you need the next candle also closed which confirms the displacement. So we need 3 more candle close until we actually confirm a monthly inverse fair value gap here. Until then, it's a premature thing to ask. Now, technically speaking, indeed, we sit inside the bearish monthly FEG, which was already retested here. And moreover, what I'm looking for is actually this area of supply. So we are sitting in monthly supply area. I also want to go back on 12 months. If you remember, I did mention back in 2025, October 2025, I did mention about the 12-month FEG and the fact that it will have exactly the same effect which it had here at the lows. And I did mention that once we get inside the FEG, I'll start buying Bitcoin. I got filled at around 58, 57. I was quite a greedy goblin as I was looking for my golden pocket, and I'm still looking for that, so I'm not in a hurry. There are more ways to skin a cat, and I'm not here to catch exactly the bottom. And I'll show you why, because on weekly, for example, if this is the bottom weekly W, we will have a fair value gap retest like we had in all the previous runs. We'll have something like this. So I'll start bidding again this area. It's not a problem. The problem is when you start trying to outsmart your plan and trying to front run based on emotions what you see in the market. That's the biggest problem. So 1 month, there you go. Also, if we look at the anchored VWAP from the top, we are exactly at the anchored VWAP. We had previously the same setup based on the anchored VWAP, monthly fair value gap, rejected previous month high sweep. So that's why I'm saying that in 6 days from now, I'll actually be looking for short setups after we close the monthly candle, because if we get the previous month high sweep like we had here, then most likely I'll target the previous month low like we had here, for example. And I'll target something like this and something like this. All right. No, I'm not swing short. I said that I took my stop loss on, I just posted this morning. All right. So basically next month, if I see a swing failure of August candle, then most likely I'll play the range game once again, and I'll look for a sweep of the high and then get back in the range. That's my main scenario for trading. All right. As for investing, I just told you earlier, we'll go on weekly to show you the confirmation which we had all the time in the previous bull market. All the time. We had the retest here, we had a retest here. So stop asking yourself, well, there was no retest. We had 2019, there we go, the retest. 2023, there we go, the retest. So we'll have the retest. So there's so many ways to skin a cat. That's what people should learn. And they should also learn to keep the emotions away. So that would be on a monthly. Definitely here, this area, it's an area which I'm looking for for short setups. I'm not interested in longs here. Intermediate area for some long positions will be around here, 70,000, 69,000, and I'll show you on the weekly time frame. Now, if we look at the weekly candle, what we can observe is actually that we do have a weekly fair value gap, but it's not confirmed yet. Why? Because it's crypto. I'm messing my thoughts, sorry. Why? Because we don't have this weekly candle closed yet. This is the candle which will confirm the weekly fair value gap. And what I wanted to mention is that I'm expecting to anything, because it's crypto, and I'm expecting even a potential tweezer reversal all the way down. That is something that I saw back in 2022, 2023 when the big boys were coming home, September, and the volatility was back in the market. So this weekly FEG will only get confirmed in about one week, 5 days from now. Once this weekly fair value gap will be confirmed, what I will be looking for is actually finding support inside of it. All right, and what I mean by that is that any time that I see the market getting inside the weekly fair value gap, I'll be looking for long positions inside this area. And I'll be looking also to maybe to add spot if I see that in about 3 weeks from now in September, this weekly and monthly FEG is holding indeed. But for the moment, I repeat, it's not confirmed. There is no weekly or monthly FEG yet for the moment. Okay? Now, from a trading perspective, if we lower the time frame to 3 days, 5 days, and we look here, the pivot low, pivot high, the high which created lower low, there's lots of liquidity here because this is actually the lower high which created another lower low. So if we go on 5 days time frame or even a 3 days, we will observe that actually we have a range. We'll try to ignore any other structure and focus on this area. And based on the range game rules, which work about 80% of the time, we are in a range. I'll be looking to short the range highs, and I'll be looking to long the range lows. Simple as that. Now the question which I'm trying to change a little bit the perspective in this space, the question should not be, well, do you think that the price will go there, or do you think that Bitcoin will even go back to deep discount at 63,000? What I'm thinking, or what anyone is thinking, is absolutely useless and irrelevant. What people should do, it's actually they should prepare for the plan and they should act when the price gets there. For me, I do think that anything can happen in crypto. I think we can reverse on a daily candle and dump all the way down, or in the same matter, we can pump all the way up to 103, 105. Anything can happen, and I'm okay with that because I didn't lost any train. I have bags since 2022, since 2023, and I'm okay with those bags that I have there. So I didn't lost anything, and I'm not in a hurry to chase anything. Good morning. Hey, Bendos. So now let's look at the 3 days fair value gaps and maybe 5 days. 5 days we don't have one confirmed. It will be confirmed in about 3 days from now, while the 3 days it's confirming in 16 hours. But we have one here. So we have one fair value gap here. What this fair value gap did, it's actually they displaced the previous area of resistance. If you remember, I mean, now everyone is a smart ass. everyone's a smart ass, but back then, when I took the short from this area and I targeted the low, I made about 10 to 11 R. Was absolutely a great setup, this one, and we targeted another low. And I'll be trading the range as many times as the market will give me. I did exactly the same thing here, and I did exactly the same thing here. So 2 times it was profitable, as you can see. I managed to book partials, and 1 time I took the stop loss. And you might ask yourself, well, you are looking for shorts at 67,000. Well, absolutely and logical, because I'll play level by level, and at that moment in time, we were sitting under resistance, and it was confirmed resistance. Okay, so if you are into trading, not to investing, but into trading, you need to consider trading level by level. When it comes to trading, that's the only way that you want to do it, level by level, and book the profits, book the losses that you take. Look at 100 trades, review them, and observe if your system is profitable. If not, revise it and improve it. Now, looking at the market, there are 2 setups which I'm looking forward to. First setup would be absolutely logical. SFP of the 82,850 with a 1 hour candle confirmation here, meaning that I want a big swing failure of the high, and then 1 hour confirmation, and I will trigger the shorts, because it means that we are actually trading back inside the range. Yeah, once the candle gets under, it will be exactly the same setup which we observed at the lows. And indeed, if you look back on my track record, I did call the long here and posted it, and I did call the long here and posted it publicly. So both these longs from 59,000, yeah, were posted. Actually, I even had a 58,000 long setup as a swing failure of this pivot low, and I was speaking about the 3 drives. Now I'll do exactly the same thing which I did at the lows. Anything that's deviating above this box, this circle, or was that an arc, I'll be seeking to short back inside the range. Now, if we look from a anchored VWAP perspective and we look at this range, you can see pockets all the way down. It's not a theory, it's actually a thing that it's proved, that news-driven catalyst events are usually going to be retested or retraced, right? So that's why I still have the thesis, which will be invalidated in 6 days. That scenario will be invalidated after the weekly candle close. So there's 6 days still for that thesis to be validated. The fact that the low of the impulsive move, which was news driven, will be retested, meaning that I'm expecting a retest of POC and the low from which this impulsive move started. And that gives me a big risk to reward in terms of short setups. So either I'm taking a swing failure of the pivot high there, that's a big risk to reward. Yeah, it won't be 15 because you're taking partial, so you will end up with 8, 9. Now, if I'm going on, let's go on 12 hours, and what I'm seeing here is that we are tapping inside the 12-hour FEG. Well, I don't know what's to laugh about potential, because anything in trading is potential. If you're an investor, then that's another story. So, what I'm looking forward now? Well, I'm looking forward a power of 3, an AMD here based on the previous week high deviation. That's the main trigger for me. Damn it, not that color. Now let me get out from the red areas because there's a bit too much. I get it, there's the FEGs There you go. Or let it like that. Okay, so this is a previous week high. And what I'm looking for a swing short, only validated after 1 hour close deviation. That's the main plan. Now, indeed, if we are looking from a higher highs and higher lows perspective, trend lines, indeed the market's making higher highs and higher lows, and we are actually riding the anchored VWAP from the top. But keep in mind the daily candle is not yet closed, so if I'll see that we are closing as a swing failure below 80,000, I think I'll trigger a short based on the previous day high deviation here, Monday high deviation. So that's another confluence. All right. And if you're looking at the chart now, what you can see. So if you are deviating the Monday high, we are actually trigger a double top pattern. 1 second. And here is a double top if we go below that point. There you go. Usually, once again, when you play the Monday range, you want to target Monday low. So the best target would be to aim at the Monday low, and that would be with a partial into weekly open and more partial into the previous day low, Monday low. That would be a 3R, which is not bad at all. So this is the main setup which I'm looking forward to. Indeed, we have another M top form here, a double top pattern on 15 minutes. And you can see the price is just consolidating in that area. Actually, I might be looking to take this one. We have a SS short, a break of structure here. And the risk to reward is not bad at all. Let's see this trend line. Yeah, I'll be taking this one. Let me post it. What I don't like is that it left equal highs here. And let me check if it tapped golden pocket. Yeah, it tapped the golden pocket. So the fee pong is working. Let me post it in VIP. In the morning, I did mention also about this M top here. So also this one is a valid double top pattern. But now the big test is, I'll only add risk. I went with low risk to low risk here. I'll only add if I see a previous day high, Monday high deviation, and previous week high. So as long as we are before these two areas, it will be quite risky to trade against the bullish order flow, which is here. Yeah. This is a displacement of the previous day high, Monday high. There is no music. What music? I don't think there is any music. Okay, I see you're in a good mood of making fun. Let's chill you out a little bit. There you go. The music shouldn't be too loud anymore right now. Bye bye. Okay, let's get back to this. Problem solved. All right, so I think we highlighted all the plans from 15 minutes to weekly and so on. So the main scenario here, which I'm waiting for to put risk on the table, is the Monday high deviation and the previous week high deviation, which will basically trigger an AMD setup. Now, if I want to look at the AMD setup, I will also look for a bearish market structure shift here. So basically this is the pivot low which created a new high. So based on this one, I'll seek to draw a standard deviation 2 and 2.5 in order to find an area where price might stop, or the areas which are actually good for a TP1. And we can actually observe here the retest of the low, it's standard deviation 1, like AB equals CD to the downside. And then I'm looking at 71,000, which is quite a good area. So once again, if you know how to trade the partials and the profits, I think it can be quite profitable if we deviate Monday high and manage to add to the winning position. And in this area, it will be the first area which I'll be looking for longs. For long scalps, actually, like 5 minutes. Because that's for public. That's for public. I am not a bull, I'm not a bear. I don't care about what public says. I'm trying to play my setups. If I have a long, I play the long, like we did on XRP. Yeah, I mean, now everyone it's a smart ass, but back when XRP was at 0.99 and I loaded up pretty big time here. I did target it this week high, but look at the trade. It was actually good. It's absolutely irrelevant if we think in terms of bulls or bears. You won't help yourself at all. You'll only lose. And actually what that is doing is puts more emotions on you. It's all about trading here, not about bulls or bears. It's irrelevant if you're short or long. I was also looking at this one. Sorry. I was looking at this setup here on CRV. Pretty nice one. We are nicely in the short reload zone. Yeah. And we have a Monday high deviation and looking for a previous week high deviation also. And if I'm looking at the range lows, let's say around here, I think there's quite a good risk to reward for that potential M top deviation here. And I'll put some risk on this one too. That's about 7.9 R. And this week retest also around here. Again, 50%. I said at the beginning of the video, well, I can tell that most people which are coming right now in the space, they are unprepared and they don't have trading experience. So I can tell that. I can tell that by the way they are thinking. I mean, I was there too back 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So I get it. All right, so Bitcoin we cleared out. I took this short low position size. I'll add again at the EM top confirmation here. Let me also pause the CVX short setups. Now, let me point this out. I mean, there's not a problem being new to this. The problem is being ignorant. That's the main issue. So it's not a problem to be new in trading. The problem is to be ignorant and to act like you know already everything. That's the main issue because, I mean, even in real life, whatever you might be doing, you want to be a good doctor, you need to study. You don't need to act like you know everything. You need to act like you're humble and you want to learn. That's the main issue which comes in this space. Because you come in the space, you just bought here and you think you're a smartass. Well, that's how the market makers are playing. And I did mention that in the article. They are playing with emotions. And when I see the public in a highly emotional state, I know that things will go south, will go bad. Yeah. So also taking the CVX short, I already have a short on it and I took this short on Bitcoin. Now ZEC, it's at entry. Um, I did manage to take some partials here at the lows, making it risk free. Let's look into Ethereum a little bit, but not this Ethereum because I have a different chart to analyze. This one, okay? So, Ethereum. I did mention that based on the candle from Sunday, Ethereum confirmed the deviation. And I don't care about anything else than setups. They make me profitable. I'm here for already about 6 years, and if there is a rule that I would share to everyone, start looking for your system, create your system and follow it, ignoring what public is saying. And based on this candle, which we closed here, I was forced to take this swing short here. Because what that means, it means that based on this candle, we confirmed back inside the range. Now a TP1 would come around here at the lows of the candle, which we deviated. Around here at 2300. And then I'm targeting all the way down inside this daily fair value gap, which wasn't retested. If this is a Wyckoff indeed, go and look at the Wyckoff model. We always have the LPS, the retest in the market. So once again, I did mention at the beginning of the video, all those so-called geniuses that mentioned it's an up-only season and no retest, they are only trying to inflict a high emotional state. Because as I posted and as I mentioned in the article, once you are in a highly emotional state, you are becoming very vulnerable. And then your decisions are not belonging to you, are belonging to the person which makes you vulnerable. Therefore, you will take impulsive decisions, you will buy, you will sell, you will do whatever that specific person will tell you. But maybe what I'm saying here is a bit more complex, and I know people, they want to know up or down, and that's what they want to know. So yeah, this is basically what the shorts which I have. I have a low time frame, 1 hour medium time frame short on the shark level from 2500, which I posted yesterday even for public. And I have the swing short on a daily time frame based on the Sunday candle close below. Two shorts, two different setups. So I get there's a lot of people asking, well, you posted two setups. How can we take them? I mean, it's the same setup. Oh, wrong. Already you don't think in terms of setups and probabilities. You think in terms of going all in the same asset. That's where the difference is. Now, for Ethereum to get a confirmation here, I'm looking for a reclaim. Yeah, under this all-time high, pivot high, previous high here. Not bad. Okay. Not bad. Oh my God. Oh my God. Not bad. Hope that maybe you manage to take. Not bad. Okay. So now we already confirmed the M top. We also are trying to confirm a Monday high deviation and a previous week high deviation. Damn nice. 1 second, let me post in VIP. Not bad. Also, the CVX short is going nicely. So I'm short on Bitcoin, I'm short on ETH, I'm short on CVX, I'm short on ZEC, and I'm short on Hyperliquid. These three shorts. This one is still at entry. Okay. I think I did explain also Ethereum. Yeah, sorry, I needed to update because there's lots of volatility and the shorts are in deep profit. Uh, there is no such thing as liquidation when you're a trader. You have to learn that. There is no liquidation in trading. That's for public. If you want to learn how to trade, you're here to trade. Therefore, there is no such thing as a liquidation. Um, so what I wanted to point out, we discussed about Ethereum, we discussed about Bitcoin. I mentioned the short on CVX, I mentioned the potential short on ZEC and Hyperliquid. Now let's go a little bit on USDC dominance, and maybe some people will understand why I'm looking to short the market and why I think this is a local top on Bitcoin. If we look here on USDC dominance, I'll also explain USDT dominance. If you're kidding, then I'm better. Then actually that makes me happy. I mean, there's a lot of new people, and it's absolutely normal. But as I said at the mid of the video, they should start getting educated. Yeah, I've been there. I lost lots of money. It is what it is. You have to learn. So the main thesis, and once again, I want to enforce the idea of asking the right questions. Again, on Twitter, some people ask me, what if it goes lower? I mean, this kind of questions are already installing doubt inside you and will make you not take the setups that you see. Because When you say that, okay, what if it goes lower from here, then you're already taking out the probability of the market to bounce. And you're actually inclining to think that the market will go lower and not that the market will um, respect an obvious level of support. You see, you are already emotionally manipulated, and who didn't read the article which I posted today, go read the article. And if you read it once, read it once again. It will change your mentality. It will change the way you see trading and the probabilities. And it will help you, in the end, generate more profits. Asking the right questions, having the right context, observing the patterns in a right way, and setting your brain, that will help you a lot. But it's up to everyone. I'm not here to do anything else, just to show what I am doing. If you want to learn, all right. So USDT dominance, also let's go on that one. USDT dominance, there you go. We have a big nice W on 1 hour. That's all right. If we go back 5 days, there you go. You can see we are back at the range lows, value area low from September, September, February 2023, range lows. And how I know that the market will play this range? Well, basically because it respected a lot the range highs. We rejected here, and we had so many rejections here. And also, if we look at the pivot low here, it respected exactly the same area where we bounced from previously. That tells me that market has a very high probability, USD dominance, sorry, has a very high probability of just pumping and retesting this M top. If this happens, you can actually put Bitcoin in context here. That would mean that Bitcoin most likely will do something like this and retest the POC area, which I did mention previously, which is a good area. And now you can see the risk to reward, the potential risk to reward on the setups I posted. I'm risking what, $1,000, and I'm making 51,000 if I keep this one all the way down. But I'll be trading partials absolutely, because I'm not stupid to hope for more and more. I'll put a trend line and I'll trail the rest. Let's take a look at Solana a little bit. Oh my god. And I was waiting for this one for a long period of time. Yeah, I'll be taking this one also. TP1 here at the week low. Let's look further. Hyperliquid, I already have that one, but it's quite strong, I have to admit. I might take my stop loss there. Well, I think, okay, let's look a little bit at total. Total, once again. What I told you last time when total got here. Anyone can remember? Back in May 2026, what I said there? We are back at the range highs and the big supply from March 2024. I'll go and read the comments after. I need to focus on this one. Sorry, I had some questions, but it is what it is. So, going back on a daily 1 hour time frame, we can see we have exactly the same deviation on total. Others, what I did mention, I had a thought which I was discussing in a live trading session yesterday with a VIP. So we are still on the wrong side of the trend line on others, all right? Meaning that if we swing failure the pivot high here, most likely will be met with resistance. I'm not trying to be a smart ass thinking about, okay, but what if it will be actually a breakout and we go to $100 billion? Well, that's absolutely irrelevant. Once again, a question that is wrongly asked, and lots of people will try to do this. And I actually saw this kind of breakouts on Twitter. Sorry, which for me it's nonsense, and you cannot generate profits with those kind of setups. So we are already rejecting here, even if we are going to swing failure uh, this pivot high. Let me put an alarm. I think I had an alarm already. I'll try to short the shit out of altcoins. I already have about 3% to allocate for shorting that area on altcoins. Finally, Dash is moving. Oh my god. I had this long, I think since February 2026. I'm in the same position. All right. Well, not bad. Not bad for the moment. Anyone has questions? I'm not the best. I'm consistent, and yes, on that thing I can vouch. I'm honest. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to frame the setups live. I'm looking to show you what I'm doing. You can see me when I take the stop loss. You saw the M top here, and when I frame the short, there you go. Because I know a lot of people will say, well, he's posting only after the result. There is absolutely no trade that I'm posting after the result, because all the trades that I'm framing, I'm taking live in the VIP in the Discord, and sometimes I'm also posting on YouTube or subs. But all the trades I take, they are posted out there. So yeah. All right. So basically, what the price is doing now, it's trying to find uh, the supply required to displace the previous week high, which is not for the moment because it took it as support. Now, the first intermediate area of resistance will be the neckline of confirmed double top and the Monday high point of interest. I'll go on the live trading session to see if we have any requests. And by the way, I'm enforcing once again this idea. If you want to read about the psychology of trading, go and read the last article if you haven't. I think most people already did that, but I'm enforcing that idea. Okay, let's go and see virtual. Someone asked me about virtual. I saw it on Twitter all over the place. What to do here? Maybe short it. This is the I don't know how to say it, in order not to target, but someone not to feel bad. You know, like big people, like the ones with 1 million followers and stuff like that, they will put in front of you all those coins, like NPC, like whatever, Fetch AI, Tao, and you'll think you will enter a paralysis analysis and you will think that, okay, that actually might be a good trade, let's take it. Or you might fool yourself that you can do something on that coin and, oh my god, I lost the buzz, this one goes to $1 million, that's what I was promised. Well, what is nice on virtual is that we have a double bottom structure here at the lows. It's an area which I quite like. Now we have multiple trend lines which I might be looking for. Pivot high, a lower low. This pivot high didn't create a lower low, so it's a low probability trend line here, but still, yeah, it might create some resistance. Yeah, whatever, but that doesn't mean that it will go back to $2. It can, but I'm okay. I'm not going to do anything on this one. I'm not going to chase it, trade it, or whatever. Ondo, play the short, played the long, which I didn't play because I had too many setups. I did mention that I closed it out, but it took the profits. Yeah. XPL, by the way, I did took partials here at 0.1. I said massive psychological level. And we are already rejecting with 4 daily candles. This will go back to seek demand, sorry. And when a coin is repricing to seek demand, it will go to deep discount, meaning that it will go all the way back to the entry. And now it comes to my mind the question, well, if you know it will go there, why don't you short it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys, but I think I need to find a way to protect myself from answering these questions, because what I'm doing and why I started this is an honest way to explain my system and provide with help, but it's hard. Well, S&P is just creating price efficiency inside this daily displacement. I'm looking to take a long on S&P around 7,589. So far, nothing. So there we go. We have some setups: Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, CVX, ZEC, and Hyperliquid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 assets. Learn how to divide your risk. I don't want to explain that too much. It's already explained for me. For example, if I'm taking 5 setups in the same direction, it means I have one big setup in the same direction, resulting in the fact that I'll be overexposed. And how you solve that issue? By dividing the total risk to the number of the setups, meaning that if I want to risk 1.5% from my capital on those ideas, I will divide all the 6 trades by 1.5, yeah? And I will be resulting in a 0.25 risk per trade. Simple. I won't go with 1% risk exposing 5% from my capital. That's a huge mistake. And also a huge mistake is the inconsistency of risk management, like I did mention yesterday. Someone asked me, I am a paid doom caller. Oh my god. maybe. No such thing. Come on. I'm not a paid Doom caller. I'm just playing my levels. Anyone else has other questions? Let me know. Ask the questions, guys. Be alive. Be present. Ask the right questions, please. We are already 1 hour in the live. Yeah, I did look at the post. Ah, you posted after I looked. Okay. I've joined lately mask. If you have a look on link, seems like trying to reclaim the macro range. I like your chart. I like your chart. Let's take a look. I think this is Peter. Well, Peter, I know you are a subscriber from a long period of time already. Let's get into this. So basically, yeah, but there are still reasons to be cautious. I mean, how you drew it would be alright, but keep in mind the value area low, it's not a precise chirurgical area. Like what I'm trying to say, it doesn't provide you with exactly the sharpest area to frame a setup and say that, okay, price cannot go below that area. It's actually a zone, meaning that, for example, for my 2 stupid cents here, is that we'll most likely try to reject around here, 13 bucks, and we'll try to find demand once again at 9, because that's the game between supply and demand. So I'll be looking for maybe potentially here, or maybe some sort of inverse head and shoulder. Also keep in mind, we have a trend line resistance here based on this big M top. I drew it the other way around. So most likely around here, it will be met with resistance. But yeah, until there, you can play easily something like this. Good morning. Let's see if anyone else has a chart request. I checked it, Peter. This is the one, and I did mention. I'm asking you again, if you want to put chart requests, please go on Twitter and put them in the comments, because I'm losing them here in the chat. Yeah. But even though, let's go and take a look at Litecoin. What is this one doing? Okay. There we go. What to say about Litecoin? 5 days. I already have a chart of this one somewhere here. Yeah, some shorts I took, longs. I mean, basically it reclaimed the pivot low here, which is not bad at all, which basically means that we are back inside range, but will be met with a big resistance here at 64 area. I don't want to repeat, so it's the last time I mentioned. If you want a chart request, you go on the Twitter post and you put it in the comments, please. Anything else, I'll ignore it. But still, as you can see, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and why I should bet on the fact that this is the low and we go to $1 million. Yeah, that's for public. So basically speaking, the highest probability play here is to make another lower high and continue lower. That would be it. Yeah, we are taking the previous week high as resistance, as support here. But still, I'm curious on how it will solve this 15 minutes FEG in this top here. Well, yeah, I think I'll end it up here because I don't want to keep it too long. I'm just curious now on how it will react here at M-top confirmation and Monday low. I think there's a lot of trapped long orders around here from what I saw on the CVD. We had some bearish divergence at that area. Well, I see that there's no more chart request. And I'll call it a session, guys. I'll call it a session. And we'll see you in 4 hours, by the way. In 4 hours from now, I'll start the live stream at New York. Actually, 4 hours and 50 minutes. The New York trading session, which will be on Discord. It will be available for everyone who has access in Discord, so you don't have to do anything special. And by the way, to join Discord, you need to apply and pray that you'll be accepted. Otherwise, you can go straight with the premium, which you have it available on Crypto Traders Arena Twitter. Okay, I see another chart request on Twitter. Someone asked about Jasmine. Oh my god. Why I say that? Because I mean, God help me. Seems like the last line in the sand held. I was looking for that 3 days FEG. Well, basically level by level, that's what I'm trying to play here. But and I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to pretend like I caught the bottom and now it goes to $10 and lie. No, it's looking bad. Lower lows, lower highs. Found an intermediate support area here, but still, look at the daily, the 3 days. What's this? Or even a pump to 0.02 compared to the dump which it had. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of alts. And I actually don't need to make that 100,000x or 1,000x, which people are looking for in altcoins, as I don't need it anymore. I have enough money. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of altcoins. And for me, no, they're not looking good. I'll be just trading them like I traded XRP, for example. In and out, I'm happy with the result. I wasn't greedy to look for higher. I took the profits here and I'm out. Well, have a profitable day, guys, and we'll see you in 4 hours from now at the New York trading session. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye bye.